Hi, this is Andrew bringing another Keyforge deck reveal, review, etc. This one is already open. I opened it playing blind sealed, and it's pretty good. I think it's my best mass mutation deck so far, and I'll tell you the interesting thing about it is so I open it playing blind sealed with my brother-in-law, which means we open the decks, we don't read them, we shuffle them and start playing. And I think he conceded after my first key because he said, "Oh, there's no way I can come back from this." And then I turned it over, I looked at the list and was like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe what I'm seeing here." And we thought, "Wow, this is really special." I played it against a new triple control the week deck that my brother-in-law had acquired, and it won. And so we just thought, wow, this is special. Checked, we enjoy checking the SAS on these things, so we did, and SAS said 73, but SAS is really early for mass mutation, so you can expect some wild swings. And of course, SAS isn't going to be right always in the long run anyway. So it's a nice tool, but you gotta go by how things play more than by SAS. So anyway, I think yesterday there's an update, and it lists this as a 78 now. So they're like, okay, SAS caught up. And a couple of people I played against have said, "Oh, that's still too low," and it might be, but we'll see. Anyway, so this has what I would consider like maybe an ideal logos package, a really nice Star Alliance package, and then just an insane shadow setup. So, all right, here it is. We start with Auto-Encoder. Why is Auto-Encoder good? Auto-Encoder is, I think, my favorite card so far in this set. It's an artifact, so it's likely to stick out there. And it says that after a card is discarded from your hand, you archive the top card of your deck. And sometimes this is a dead card, but oftentimes it turns cards that are situational into being extra good, because either you play them for value or you discard them and get an archive, and it makes them better. There are also some cards that actively discard cards from your hand, and this makes those better as well, right? So you can end up with pretty substantial archives from all that activity. It makes Mind Barb not hurt so much. There's all sorts of things that the Auto-Encoder makes better. Alright, Eclectic Inquiry adds to the archive fund. It gives you an amber and archives the top 2 cards of your deck. Even Ivan is a 4-power mutant scientist with action. If your opponent has an even number of amber, steal 1. We got 2 infomorphs in here. That's nice because it means we're going to get 4 draw icons, right? Spread out. QMEX is a 1-power robot with play, draw a card, and destroy to archive QMEX. And the fun part here is we got 2 of them, and one of them has a capture icon. These are really nice. Get the draw, push it back into your hand, really cool. Then we have actually 2 copies of standardized testing, and this is a great way to get your QMEX back. We'll see that their Rad Penny comes up later. It's a good way to get Rad Penny back into your deck. And just overall, the combination of the standardized testing with the QMEX and Rad Penny means that you can make the low end of the destruction help you, right? And sometimes you want to hit their 2s or something like that, in which case maybe you hold the QMEX in hand until after you play it or something. But often it makes sense to just get those things back in the archives. Novu Dynamo is a really good combo card in here, because so it's an 8-power robot with 2 armor. And it says at the start of your turn you may discard a Logos card from your hand or archives. If you do, gain an amber, otherwise destroy Novu Dynamo. This means we can go kind of long stretches, as long as this is on the board, of not choosing Logos. and wait until we have just a really good setup going. It means we're cycling out into other houses, and we're building our archives if we have the auto-encoder out while getting an amber per turn. It's really strong. The auto-encoder plus the Novu Dynamo is really strong. So it's been fun, and it's so big, it's hard for opponents to deal with it. Obviously, it does become a standardized testing target, so you just have to be careful of that. And sometimes it is worth blowing it up, just depending on what's on the board. And then the last two Logos cards in here are bots. A Dinobot, which is a 5-power mutant scientist. With play, you may exalt Dinobot if you do deal 3 damage to a creature. Really nice spot damage. And then Sacrobot, which just... they both have the Reap effect. Discard a card from your hand if you do draw a card. Sacrobot doesn't have a play effect. Instead, it has 2 armor. Yeah, so, and this one got a draw icon on it, which is really nice. Alright, then we get into the Shadows territory. Gamgee with a damage is pretty good. It's a really nice feature. That, and there's a Mug coming up later, can kill a 3-power creature between the two of them. I do have to say, though, that those two things together, there's a little more, but there's not a lot of spot damage in here, and there's not a lot of just straight, like, just blow up everything. There are the standardized testings, and there's another good card we'll come up to later, but we're lacking on sort of spot to just destroy this one thing with damage. So it's nice to have it. We could do better with more. There's that Mug. Okay, then we come to what we actually have are 3 Rad Pennies, and one of them has an extra amber on it, one of them has a capture and a draw, and the other one is just normal. And this is crazy. I mean, it's really crazy. And when you think then you can shuffle them back in with the standardized testing, if you need to, you can plink them with that Gamgee damage or the Mug. That is pretty crazy. These just come back and back and back and do a lot of work. Shoulder Id is fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. It occasionally will get you a steal, and at least gets us a draw, so that's nice, and it means the opponent has to work around it. Usually it won't get the steal, because they'll find some way to kill it without, fighting into it, or they'll fight with something with skirmish, but it still is something they have to work around, and I like that. Vandalism is an action with a bonus amber, and this one got a draw. Excuse me, a draw on it. So when you play this, you get an amber, you draw a card, and then you get to look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and discard one. And this can be really good. It's a really good control card, and I've had good hits with it. Boss Zarek is a 3-power mutant thief. This one got a draw icon on it. And all your creatures with amber on them have elusive, which can be pretty nice, especially because we have several capture icons floating around. So we're able to turn those into elusive creatures, which is really nice. I had an opponent last night, good opponent, but didn't realize that, because there's another elusive effect, another mass elusive effect in here. And so he killed that and thought, okay, I'm good now, and was not good, and yeah, forgot to kill the boss Zarek. I did let him rewind and take care of that, but worth knowing. Okay, then we have a Mesa Asp. This is really nice. It's a 3-power beast with skirmish and poison. Yeah, really solid threat to have on the board. And then, yeah, the Shadowsmith gives all mutants elusive. This one is, I think, going to be really good against other sets. Playing against Mass Mutation, I sometimes discard this, and the Auto-Encoder makes that feel good, but this is sometimes worth discarding. Shadowsmith, or Shadowsaurus, rather. Shadowsaurus is a 5-power dinosaur thief with 1 armor, and it has an action that moves an amber from an enemy creature to your opponent's pool. Move all the amber from an enemy creature to your opponent's pool, and if there was at least 1 amber on it, take control of it. and while under your control, it belongs to House Shadows. This is a really fun card. I have yet to have it be like game swinging, but it's a really fun card, and it can be a nice threat. If you put it out there, sometimes your opponent will really need to deal with it. Especially, I think, once I got it out when there was a Faust on the board, and that became pretty high priority for my opponent to kill. And then last for Shadows, Sacro Thief is a 4-power mutant thief with 2 armor and elusive. And this is just a body. It doesn't do much. It's fine. It's a big body, though. Alright. And then, yeah, the Star Alliance here actually works pretty well. We have Hadron Collision, which removes a ward from a creature and deals 3 damage to it. And it ignores armor, which is nice. Then we have Secure Droid, which is a 4-power robot with taunt, but it can be put as an upgrade on something else to give that something else taunt. You might put it on like the Novu Dynamo to give it taunt if it's positioned properly, but usually I just play this as a creature with taunt. Sensor Chief Garcia is a 3-power human. This one got a capture icon on it, which is extra good, and she has Play Fight Reap, keys cost +2 during your opponent's next turn. Really nice. And yeah, the capture icon means even if they're on 9, if they're on 8, you can still take them off check by playing this. Subject Kirby also has a capture icon here, 2-power mutant with Play Fight Reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance creature this turn. And there's so many creatures in this deck, it works really well. I got the Novu Dynamo out with that once. I got the, I've played Rad Pennies with it, Humex. Sometimes, a creature I just want ready for the next turn, like an Even Ivan or something. Lots of good opportunities. And there is, I'll just skip forward, there is a transporter platform in here. Yeah, where is it? It's real. There, transporter platform. And the transporter platform with either of these is just fantastic because you can play them, pull them back to your hand, or like pull them back to your hand and play them again. And it's great with the capture icon, and it's great with the play effects. It's really, really good. Detention Coil. We have 2 of those. It's an upgrade with a bonus amber that says this creature cannot fight. I made the mistake once of putting this on the wrong creature, but generally, actually I made the mistake more than once. It's really nice to say this creature cannot fight. You get something with skirmish or just something big and just say, you can't use it the way you wanted to use it. It's really nice. Sometimes with the transporter platform, it makes the most sense to do something like play the subject Kirby, put 2 detention coils on it, gaining the 2 amber, transporter platform them all back to your hand, play the Kirby again, then play the detention coils on enemy creatures, and you got 4 amber instead of 2, which is really nice. Lay of the Land is an action with a bonus amber that says look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. Draw a card. Really nice filtering, and man, by the time you have like put a bunch of stuff in archives, like the chance that you're going to be able to use this well is actually pretty good. It really fits in with the deck. Mutagenesis Researcher is a 3-power mutant scientist that just gave us 1 of each enhanced icon. It's fine. Actually, that pushed us to 5 draw icons, which I really appreciate. Then we have, Quintrino Flux. When you play it, you choose a friendly creature and an enemy creature, destroy the chosen creature and each creature with the same power as either of the chosen creatures. This is really nice, a really nice board wipe that you can use to really be one-sided, by hitting maybe 1 of your creatures and 5 of your opponent's creatures or something in the ideal cases. It's also really nice with all the 1-power creatures that want to go back into your deck and archives. Fantastic. We talked about transporter platform. Just really great combos that you can do here. Quixelstone is, I've never played it in this deck because this deck has so many creatures, it really wants to get the creatures out. Quixelstone is not good for this deck, and it's an auto discard. And if there's one weakness this deck has, I think it is Quixelstones and maybe like persistent board control. Like if you have just a lot of stun everything, destroy everything, it'll struggle a little. And then we have Lyco Alien, who's a 4-power mutant alien with skirmish. And fight, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and 1 on the bottom of your deck. And that's, again, more great deck filtering. So we're kind of always getting to the cards we want by cycling through and managing where cards are. One just a little bit of combo I want to get back to is if you have these 3 cards on the board, it's pretty amazing because what you can end up doing is, with the Auto-Encoder, at the start of your turn, you discard maybe an Infomorph to feed the Novu Dynamo. You gain an Amber and you archive the top card of your deck. Then you reap with the Dinobots, or with the bots rather, and you discard a couple of cards that you didn't really care about, maybe a Secura Droid and a Sacro Thief. You're going to draw 2 more cards and you're going to archive the top 2 cards of your deck. Again, very good. And then Novu Dynamo can eat not only out of your hand, but also out of your archives. And that makes the QMEX extra good, because the QMEX, when they die, where do they go? They go to your archives. So sometimes I'll leave one of them in there, especially the one without the capture, just because, okay, I didn't draw Logos cards this turn, cool, I can eat this the next turn to keep the Novu Dynamo alive and get an Amber, and that won't archive another card because it's not out of your hand, but it's still very good. So yeah, altogether, this is just kind of a crazy fast deck. It'll often cycle twice. You get the Rad Pennies 3 or 4 times, and just absolutely crazy for control and for getting through things. What it lacks is, like I said, spot damage, ways to just target a specific creature other than the Quintrino Flux, and it struggles a little bit with, you really want to get those creatures on the board to have them work. If they're getting stunned all the time or something, that would be quite a bummer. and the goal then would be to just standardize testing them and cycle again. So anyway, that was Painter Benitez. I have another really good painter deck, so I'm really happy to have a painter duo here, and some friends and I were joking we'll have to find a third really good painter just to have a painter triad. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed making it, and that you will get on and forge some keys.